Hello and welcome back to the channel. My family and I have just returned back to Walt Disney World and wow, what a trip it was. If you haven't already, check out our playlist. We've been uploading all of our Walt Disney World vlogs and it was just incredible. I'm here today to do a Disney World haul. We all love to watch those and it will feature mugs, pins, Loungeflies, spirit jerseys, plushes, you name it. We probably shoved it into a suitcase. Just a small disclaimer here, this holiday was several years in the making and we have been saving hard, the kids included, so that we were able to buy all the Disney merchandise that makes our heart sing. So we've got some of our favourites here that we want to share with you in case any of you are going soon or if you're just interested in what Disney merch is available at Walt Disney World. So come along with us. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Sam. And if you love all things Disney, you are in the right place. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. We have a whole playlist of Walt Disney World vlogs. This trip had 3 generations of us. Now, if you know me, you will know I love, little bit borderline obsession with Disney mugs. Now, I actually only purchased 3 mugs. Yes, I know that sounds a lot to a lot of you out there, but 3 for me is really good. I bought 3 mugs that I absolutely loved. Now, this first one I have been eyeing up for so long. Pretty sure it popped onto the UK shop Disney for a while, or Disney store, don't know what it's called now. It is the monorail mug. Now, this mug just sings to my heart. I am obsessed with the Disney monorail. For years as a kid, I was a bit of a geek like that, used to recite the "Please Stand Clear of the Doors" voiceover that used to play on the monorails when you used to get on and off. So when I saw this with all the different monorails and the different colours and obviously my favourite life motto written on it, I had to get this. Now, what I actually did with this is a little bit of a top tip for you, is I ordered this with a VPN on the American Disney store. Now, we then ordered stuff to get delivered to Caribbean Beach Resort, which is where we were staying on Disney, so that it was there for when we arrived. So we kind of bought it probably about 3 or 4 days before we travelled. We put on there the address for Caribbean Beach Resort and what our names were on there. And then we just made sure that the resort knew ahead of time that we would be getting a parcel. So there were a few items in here that we bought ahead. This was one of them and I just love it. Now, another mug that I absolutely loved because, like, if you see my house, if you see my branding on Never Say Neverland, I love a really light blush pink and I just loved this mug, because it was just love the colour scheme of it. I like the feel of it. It's smooth and it's a good size for a good old cuppa. So yeah, brought this one back with me. And then another one that I got was the most magical place on earth. Now again, my colour scheme, good size mug, it had to come home with me. Now there were a couple of mugs my sister also bought, which were duplicates to this, but she also got this one when we went to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And yep, you can see that this has the logo on it from the Christmas party. Now, it wasn't just mugs. I do branch out to tumblers and tervices, I think they're called. So I got this one bought for me by my sister for Christmas and I absolutely love it. It is a Starbucks Tervis that you can put warm drinks into and it just has such a pretty design on it and it's a little bit sparkly and I was so happy when I unwrapped this because it was one thing that I thought about buying when I was out there, didn't actually get round to it, got home and was like, oh, I really regretted it. Luckily, my sister knows me inside out. So that came home with me. Now, I go forward and back with spirit jerseys because quite frankly, I'm a little bit tight when I'm at home and paying the amount of money for one jumper just blows my little mind. That being said, sometimes I am tempted And the one that I'm wearing today is actually one that my sister purchased for me as a Christmas present. It has a lovely bejeweled D on the front for Walt Disney World, and on the back it also has Walt Disney World in lovely pretty jewels. I do love it, and I'm not sad that she bought it for me, but yes, just go in understanding that the price of a Spirit jersey is a little wild at times. That being said, again, a little bit of a spoiler for later in the vlog, I did buy another one, but to me that was a very, very special one. I love that we have to justify why we spend money in Disney. But my sister, who is obsessed with Spirit jerseys, did buy a couple that I'm going to show you now. So she bought this lovely one that is a navy with almost an iridescent pattern on it, which is like a purpley colour with some fireworks and the castle. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, it is absolutely stunning. She also got a standard black one. We thought a black one might be something that she would wear out and about, and it looked really cool, really stylish. Now, if any of you have watched my vlog so far, you will see that my daughter loves to shop, and she worked really hard to save up a good spending pot for her for going away. But one of those obsessions are plushes, and that could be teeny tiny plushes, it could be small, medium, or mahoosive. These are the Disney Cuddlies, I think they're called, and they are huge. Like, look. But do you know what? For my sensory seeker kids, they are the softest material, and they're squishy, and yes, they're big. But what we actually did with these, which I think is quite a good hack to share, is we purchased these and carried them onto the flight on the way home as like hand luggage, because we used them as a pillow. And do you know what? They were so comfortable. This one I actually bought at the airport Disney store, literally as we were about to like go through security to board our flight. I bought it for my son, and he used it, and he actually slept. He actually slept on the flight, just for a small while, but he slept. And I think that was down to this plush. There were lots of characters in the selection that they had. There was, I loved the Baymax one, but because it was white, I thought, mum head, that is going to get messy straight away. There was Lotso, there was a Simba, Mickey, there was Pooh Bear. I think there was a Rex one actually in the World of Disney. There was a whole selection of them, but plushes aren't cheap. But actually, I think these ones, they are super soft, super comfy. They're definitely multi-purpose plushes. Now, another style of plush that we saw a lot of when we were looking through the shops were Bigfoot toys. Big feet, Bigfoot. And my daughter came home with this adorable Dumbo. I mean, it is so cute. And again, so soft. This would make such a lovely first toy for a baby if you had a new baby in the family, or a friend, or your own. These are so super soft and light. So she got a Dumbo one. My sister also can't resist a plush. She's a big kid at heart, and she came home with this Ewok. I keep wanting to say little Ewok. They're not that little, they're as big as my head. She came home with the Ewok version, and great. We love Guardians of the Galaxy, and actually he is. Look at that little face. He's really cute. Now, if you've seen our first day vlog, our travel day vlog, you'll see that we went to Animal Kingdom and we saw the Merry Menagerie, which was their really adorable puppet show, I suppose, that roams around the front of the park. And this purchase here was the first thing that my daughter actually bought the whole trip. And here's this adorable penguin that is part of the Merry Menagerie. It was the only animal from that collection that we found, even though they have kind of like polar bears and seals in their display that they do. The penguin was the only one that was there. And again, they're all just so soft. And I think this one's really cute. Another soft toy I had to share with you, which is a personal favourite of mine, is this little dude. He is one of the characters, I think, from, oh, he's a friend of Duffy. Mel. Maybe I haven't pronounced that right, but he always reminds me of the Hawaii Alani resort that Disney have, which is my absolute dream resort. It's on my vision boards. Like, one day I want to get there. We bought him when we went to Ohana's to have our character breakfast with Stitch and Mickey, and we went to the shop and had a little look around. And originally it was my sister that bought this. My daughter has now claimed this. I also love at the back, there's this little signature on the back of who it was designed by. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the name because I'll probably get it wrong, but I thought that was a nice little feature there as well. And then there's just one more character I have to show you, which will lead probably quite nicely onto the next section. This guy. So I am a massive Splash Mountain fan. I always have been. It was always my number one ride. So when I heard that they were changing it, I was a bit skeptical. That being said, they have changed it to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is based on Princess and the Frog, which is a film that I love. Tiana is one of my favourite princesses, and yeah, we were riding it for the first time this holiday and I loved it. I loved it. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen that one yet, I loved it. And when we went to the shop, I felt the sudden urge to buy the whole shop. But my daughter came away with this toy. I think he has a name. Oh, it's down here. He's called Apollo. Who knew? So Apollo, in his little accordion, is one of the characters, the critters that are based in the ride. There was a huge selection of lots of different critters. But yeah, my sister and my daughter came home with one of these. I think my sister likes it because it kind of looks a little like Miko from Pocahontas, which is her favourite character, which, spoiler alert for a vlog if you haven't seen it already, she actually gets to meet this trip and just it blew her mind. So yeah, Apollo came home with us. So that nicely leads us on to some of the merchandise that I bought when I bought the whole shop. And I say the whole shop, there were some bits I left behind and I think about them every single day of like, why didn't I buy it? But we will go back. We'll go back at some point and I will get the remainder of the merch that I didn't buy. Now, seeing as we've already talked about mugs, I think the most logical thing to do is to show you this adorable tumbler that I purchased from the ride shop. Now we've got the little froggy at the top and we've got Lewis and all the characters. Lewis, Louie, I don't know if I pronounce it right, but the alligator is on the front of the ride and it says Tiana's Bayou on there. I just love it. I use these quite a lot when I'm working from home and I need to just stay hydrated because don't we all need to stay hydrated? And then, as I mentioned before, there was a Spirit jersey that I just could not leave behind. And that was this one, my Tiana's Bayou Spirit jersey. Now, this wasn't cheap. I've just noticed there's a little bit of yogurt on there. So if you can see it, apologies. That will have been my son. And yeah, I like the colour of it. The back of it is quite a bold pattern, which is not something that I would necessarily normally wear. But do you know what? I will wear that at home. I will wear it when I next go to Florida, when I next go on the ride, because I'm manifesting that time will come. So I also bought the Tiana Bayou ride pin. And one of the things I love to buy when we are on holiday is park specific merch, things that I can't necessarily buy at home on our Disney store. I like to buy things that remind me of the rides that we've been on, the places that we've been. That's why I ended up with the Tiana Bayou one. And one other item that I purchased was this storybook. So this is a little golden book, but it's based on the Tiana's Bayou ride. And we have read this a lot of times since we've been home. My son loves it. The little golden books have been an absolute gem to us in helping him learn to speak. So my son is neurodiverse. Last time we went to Florida 3 years ago, he was non-verbal. And now his speech is coming through, and that's through a lot of reading. And we've used books similar to this. There's a whole collection of Disney park ride books in the little golden book range, which I will pop a link in the description to, because if you're based in the UK, you can actually purchase these on Amazon. This one is also available. I didn't realise that at the time. But yeah, this little book came home with us, and we will use this if we go again to remind Reese of the rides and what they entail. We have a Figment one that he absolutely adores, and we use that a lot in our prepping process to kind of get him used to what he'll be experiencing when he was on holiday with us. Now, with the exception of a one-day trip to SeaWorld, we exclusively stayed within the Disney bubble. There were a few other occasions that we popped out for American supermarkets, because who can resist? But also we headed to Vineland Premium Outlet to check out the character warehouse. Now, a top tip for you if you are wanting to go there is try and get there ahead of opening. I think it was around 10 o'clock that it opened, and a queue had already built up outside. It is a very popular venue. Now, Character Warehouse is where they sell discounted Walt Disney World merchandise, sometimes Disney Cruise Line merch pops up there too. It is an outlet for Disney merch basically. And we picked up a couple of bargains. Now, it was December, so we were heavily into the Christmas period. So if you've got to think, some of the merchandise that will be in there will be out of season. So we had quite a lot of Halloween stuff there. Now, I am not a Halloween person in the slightest. It wasn't my style of merch. So there was a good portion of stuff in there. Probably my bank balance will thank me for it. There was a portion of merch in there that just wasn't my vibe. There was, however, I did come out with one item of Halloween clothing. Now, this was something I had seen on our UK Disney store, and actually I thought it was flipping cute. So I purchased it. It was this cute ghosty jumper. And yeah, it's got Walt Disney World on it, and I liked the colour, I liked the fit, and it was really good value. I'll see if I can find the actual price on it here. That was $14.99, and it was $60.99. So that is a massive, massive saving. I mean, I wouldn't have paid $60 for it, but I'll happily pay nearly $15 for it. Well, with tax, it was over $15. So this came home with me. Now, another absolute bargain that I spotted was, and like I said before, I like Disney Park specific merch, was this Orange Bird Loungefly. Now, this actual Loungefly was still in the Epcot main shop area. I saw it in a couple of other stores as well when we were there. Now, this would have been $90. $90. I got it for, I want to say, like $39. I think it was $39. It worked out around £30. £30 for any Loungefly in my eyes is a bargain, but an Orange Bird one, it's textured, it's just, I just love it. I just love the touch and feel of it. Okay, it wouldn't really stand up well in the UK British weather, but on future trips, on cruises, etc., maybe when I get to Alani, manifest, I could use this, and I just loved it. I thought that was an absolute steal, and there were loads of them on the shelf. But again, try and get there early because things will get snapped up. There were quite a few people there that were purchasing as a business and kind of selling them on. Now, another thing I loved when we were there is they had quite a lot of homeware, and I love, if anyone's ever seen my house, they will see that I love all things Disney on my wall. I like artwork, I like photos of us at Disney, just all sorts, ornaments, you name it. And I saw this and I was like, yeah, that's coming home with me and it needs to live on my wall. It has hooks on the back. It is a little scuffed on the front, but I'm pretty sure I can clean that up and make it look nice, ready to hang it up on my wall. But it fits with the style of my home, and I was really, really pleased with that purchase. It should have been $50. I'm pretty sure it was about half price. Now, a couple of other items that I bought were a bit niche to my son. So my son's neurodiverse, he has his special interests. One of those is Nemo. Always has been. He's absolutely obsessed by it. He particularly likes the Tank Gang, which if you've watched Nemo, you'll know who I'm talking about. And as I was at the checkout, I found this little photo frame, and it's like water, it's got sprinkly bits in it, and it has all of the Tank Gang on there with a photo of Darla inside, which is supposed to kind of depict the photo frame that is in Dr. Sherman's office at the dentist, because Darla's obviously his niece. And the funny thing is, this is designed for you to put your own photo in. I'm pretty sure my son is going to want to keep Darla in there, because that's part of the story and that's how his brain works, and that's okay. So this won't be used as an actual photo frame with us in it. We'll have Darla on display, but he loves it. He loves all things Tank Gang, and he was over the moon with this. This was like $1.99. It was such a steal, and will bring him so much joy. So I loved that. And then another one that we purchased, which I was able to kind of save as a Christmas present for him. And I've never ever seen this before. Now, this is not just specific to neurodiverse kids. I think most kids like a marble run. And this is not just any marble run. This is an inside out marble run that lights up. So you have characters that you can put down in the little hub area at the front. And when you pop them down, say it is anger that's on there, the light changes red. If it's joy, it goes to yellow. If it's sadness, it goes to blue. You get the idea. Yes, it was a big box to try and smuggle home with us, but he is loving it. He loves the marble run, and the Disney theming on it is just amazing. I've never seen an inside out one, and actually I kind of love it because it's like the core memories, and just I think it's really unique, and I loved that. I think this worked out. It should have been $80. I think I paid maybe around $40, which I know is still quite a lot for a toy, but he will get a lot of play out of this. So this takes us nicely onto Reese's toy collection. So whilst my daughter loves a plush, she loves a key ring and pins, he doesn't really ask for much, but when he does, he has a desperate urgency for it. So those of you that have watched our first day at Magic Kingdom will see that we went into a store looking for a magic band for my daughter and came out with 3 really large talking Toy Story characters. And I kid you not, he could not wait to get back to the hotel room when we had our midday breaks, just so he could play with his toys, his friends, and he was role playing, and just, yeah, the noisy toys are a little bit annoying, but to see the joy that they bring him is worthwhile. So I'm going to show you them all now. So we have Giant Rex, who also talks.
Oh, no, I have guilt. I can't look, but I have to.
He has lots of different phrases. His tail also comes off, which was really handy when we were trying to pack him to go home, because I did have a sudden panic as we were leaving the Emporium at Magic Kingdom, thinking, how are we going to have to carry him on as like hand luggage? How's he coming home? We also bought these 2 talking toy aliens. Now they talk to each other. And I think the more you buy, they all interact with each other. But I think 2 is plenty. I don't know if they interact with other talking toys in the range. None of the ones we have seem to engage with them, but I'm okay with that. So we've got the 2 little talking aliens. And then we also had a talking Forky. And Forky, as you push him along, his legs wobble and he wobbles like a Forky fork would. Forky fork. But he's quite cute. I do quite like him. And my son has a collection of Toy Story characters at home. These are all characters that he didn't have. So it felt like it wasn't a duplication of toys. We had to talk him down from wanting a Woody and Jessie because we already had them at home. So yeah, we had the quadrant of Toy Story gang that went everywhere with us. Even when we got in the car to go places, I think, bless him, Reese thought perhaps we were leaving and not going back to our hotel room ever. They all came with us. They thankfully didn't come in the parks. I'm not No, I don't think they came in any of the parks with us. But yeah, he loved them. They were money well spent. Then a little later on in the trip, the gang expanded and we bought Slinky. He can be pulled along. He's obviously like an actual Slinky. His tail waggles. He might also talk, I don't know. There's an on-off button, but I think maybe I should have read the instructions, but I'm pretty sure there's another element to him. And as you push him along, it looks like he's got wheels on the bottom. So I think he's like a pull-along dog. But I'll have to have a little look at that because I think there's more to this toy. That's the thing with the Disney toys. They're often more than what meets the eye when you first see them. You might look at the price and think, wow, that's expensive. And then when you actually look at it, they might light up, they might move, they might interact. There's always an extra element to it. So before you judge on the price, read the instructions on the back of the box, have a little look at all the things that it might do because it might justify the price a bit more. We also ordered this, which was available on the Shop Disney store in the UK, but sold out super quickly because it's an anniversary of Toy Story this year. There's lots of really cool characters that aren't in the usual collection. This one's a wind-up toy. It's Lenny. He moves. You can't actually look through the peepholes, but yeah, Reese loved him and he joined the rest of the gang. So now we have Slinky, Rex, Forky, 2 aliens and Lenny. Now the one character that he didn't have was obviously the well-known baddie from the first few films. That is Emperor Zurg. Now, before we went on holiday, we watched a lot of ride POVs to get us prepped. One of those rides was Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and my son watched that over and over and over again because he was excited to go on it. But unfortunately, that ride was down for refurb when we were there. But we did find this super cool toy. And basically, this Zurg, you turn it on, it makes a lot of noise, and it projects onto kind of the wall area. You get a little laser gun, pew pew, and you shoot the aliens like you would in the ride. Reese likes to play with this just as a character. He says quite a few phrases. Let me see if I can get him to actually work.
I am the
Oh.
Emperor Zurg. Your insignificant threats don't frighten me. Come to me, my prey. Mark my words. You and Star Command will bow before me.
The amount of times I've heard this. Yeah, you laugh.
I am the Emperor
Oh, all right, Zurg, all right, we're turning you off. So one thing I would say about this toy is if you want to use it as intended with the laser gun, you shoot it, you need to kind of be in an area that has like blank walls or something that surrounds around the toy so that it can project the image on it and you can shoot them. But as I said, Reese was also just quite happy playing with this just as a character. All his characters run away scared from it. Yeah, it was a great toy and Disney Park specific, which I love. But also it was mahoosive and another item that had to try and fit into our bags. So I've been visiting Walt Disney World for around 30 years, and one tradition that we have always carried throughout all those trips and was started by my parents was buying a Christmas decoration each year to mark the visit. So I have ones from when I had my 21st birthday there, from when my kids' first visits, all sorts, lots of different memories that mark all the things that we do, whether it's a specific ride that we've enjoyed or an experience that we've done, or if you go into the Christmas shop in Disney Springs, they can actually personalise and decorate it in beautiful calligraphy if that's something you're interested in. So obviously Christmas has now passed. I'm filming this in January and the tree is down. But what I did do beforehand is I filmed some of my favourite decorations that we brought home. So I'm going to insert a clip here of the decorations and a little bit of an explanation as to why they were so special to us. First up, my daughter chose this Toy Story alien popcorn bucket. The mouth opens and closes and lights up, so obviously that had to come home with us. There was no way I was leaving this figment decoration behind, especially during Festival of the Holidays, and because Epcot is my favourite park, I managed to snag one of the Spaceship Earth colour-changing ornaments. These sold out really fast. Jack and Gus Gus were my character picks this year, tiny, adorable and perfect, and because Reese fell in love with the Skyliner on our trip, we couldn't resist the Zootropolis light up Skyliner decoration. We also picked up this beautiful dolphin from SeaWorld, and of course we had to bring home the Caribbean Beach Resort ornament with Mickey and Minnie inside. And to top it all off, to remember Jollywood Nights, Ollie the gingerbread man joined the tree too. So quite a few of the Disney decorations were purchased from the Christmas store in Disney Springs. Just across the pathway from that store is a beautiful artwork store. I could spend hours in there. I love it. And yes, a lot of the canvases on the wall are like more expensive than I could ever imagine paying for art. Thousands and thousands of dollars, some even tens and hundreds of thousands for statues and ornaments the like. But there are some really unique pieces of artwork in there that you can get for a more affordable price. Now, I have artwork around my home. I got gifted one by my sister of the Disney Cruise Line, Castaway Cay, that it's my favourite place in the whole wide world. I got gifted that for Christmas and I love it. I also purchased some artwork for my children's room. So my son has a Pixar themed room and I just loved this piece of artwork and could not leave it behind. I think it's such a fun design. It's designed by someone called David Buckley and it's a Toy Story Adventure Begins, and it's just so fun and it will fit in so nicely in his bedroom. It hasn't got a price in it, but I want to say it was probably around $40. Now, if that seems a bit too high a price or you haven't got the wall space for something that big, they also do offer more affordable, smaller versions in the form of kind of postcards. That was something that we decided to purchase for our little Nemo fan who found some artwork that was thousands of pounds that I was not bringing home with us. But we did find small postcard versions. So again, this is the Tank Gang. As I said, he loves the Tank Gang. There's another one of the Tank Gang. And then there was also this one, which has a nice boarded frame around it, which is lovely. And I kid you not, he has carried these round almost every day to the point of we've almost had to hide them because of fingerprints on them. I'd really like to get them framed and put on the wall, but I think what I'm going to do beforehand is probably take a photo and laminate them just so that he can carry them round. He just loves the Tank Gang so much, and Nemo, and who knew artwork was going to be one of his favourite Christmas presents? Not me. But if you're in the Disney Springs area, check out that shop. It is amazing. There are a couple of other items that my sister purchased, which I actually didn't know she'd bought some of this stuff. She must have bought it when I wasn't with her. She bought this lovely pink jumper, which I will 100% be stealing, with a nice Walt Disney World emblem on it. She also bought herself a lug bag. Now, we've been seeing a lot of people wearing these. It's obviously Christmas themed. It has a nice Merry Christmas on the back. And it's got a lot of pockets in here. This would be great as like a camera bag, if you need to take microphones around, if you were filming, or like you just put your wallet in there. It's a good little size for a little bag to take around with you, and I quite like that Mickey design on it as well. So this will be one she'll probably use in future trips. Another item I want to steal from her is this backpack. This backpack we saw everywhere. Every single store we went in, I looked at it and said, that's a lovely bag. You should get that. You should get that. Because I've got a Pixar bag. I didn't need another bag. So I tried to influence her to purchase it. And very last trip to Disney Springs, we said, right, we're going to get that bag. Could we find it? No. We looked in every single store. It had just fallen off the face of the earth. So that is a tip for you guys, that if you see something that you really love, get it there and then, because you may not see it again. Luckily, a lovely cast member went out the back of the World of Disney, like their warehousey bit, which, can you imagine how packed that must be? And also, where is the back? Is it actually out the back of the building? Is it underneath it? Surely it would be huge, right? All the questions. But anyway, she eventually got her hands on this gorgeous backpack, which I think will now become her new travel bag, backpack, her park bag when we go on cruises. If she doesn't use it, I will claim it. But yeah, I love this bag, and I just had to show you guys because, again, it's park specific. It's got all the icons on it, has the monorail, it's got the safari truck, loads of stuff. It's such cool detail. And what I also love is on the back, you can slide it over your suitcase. So if you're like us and travel with 50,000 suitcases, that's really helpful. Now, the one store my daughter went absolutely nuts for. So she's 9. It's all about what's on trend and all that. Clearly a cringe mum here. We went hunting out the Disney Drop Shop, which is, I think it was a pop-up store within the Co-op Marketplace in Disney Springs. I imagine it will probably be permanent until the fad disappears. But it sold blind bags. There's a Toy Story range that she was in love with. If you opened the box, you had the option of Woody, Buzz, Bo Peep, maybe an Alien, Bullseye, lots of figurines, and she just adored them. My son loves a figurine too. He loves Toy Story. Figured it was a win-win. Someone's going to play with the figurines afterwards. So we bought a few of the boxes there and then, and she did openings for us because that's what the kids do. And for Christmas, she got a few extra, and I think she almost made the collection. So yeah, obsessed with those. Another collection that was there, which actually I also caved because there was one particular one that I wanted, and thankfully I got it, was the Disney trash bins. So they come in a box like this. They're sealed inside. You open them up, you don't know what you're going to get. So on the side you can kind of see what the options are. Inside I pulled the one I wanted, which was the lovely Pixar bin. And it's really cute that you can kind of, there's moving parts to it. The front even opens up. Oh, don't break this now. Oh, there we go. Pops open. You could maybe store something in there. I'm just going to have it on my desk because I love Pixar, and I thought this was quite cute. It's very Disney park specific, which you can see the trend. That's what I love. So yeah, I got one of these. My daughter got the Haunted Mansion one, which was actually the Chaser one. And she got another Pixar one as well, which she was happy about. Another toy that we picked up, so Zootropolis or Zootopia 2 had just been released at the cinema. There was a lot of merch around that film, which I love. This was a really cute toy that we bought for Reese. So it's like a pullback and it shoots along. It's got Judy Hopps, Nick Wilde on it. He also got a Tiana's Bayou ride version of this as well, and he collects them, all the ride vehicles. We like to pull them back and race them all down the lounge floor to see who wins. And yeah, he'll have fun playing with that. What child doesn't like a moving toy? So I'm going to say something really controversial here. I find Disney ears really uncomfortable. Like, they hurt behind. It might be because I'm a glasses wearer. I don't particularly enjoy wearing Mickey ears. However, my mum this trip made a whole load for us, and they were gorgeous, they were comfortable, and that, for me, that's just a way forward. That being said, my sister and my daughter did buy 1 or 2 sets of ears when we were there. So obviously we were there during Christmas, and we went to both of the Disney Christmas events. Studios had Jollywood Nights, and at Magic Kingdom it was Very Merry Christmas Party. Now at Jollywood Nights, whilst we didn't necessarily love the merchandise, we did pick up a Christmas decoration there. My daughter really liked this pair of ears. So this is Ollie. He is the icon for the Jollywood Nights, and these were quite cute. And even if we didn't wear them at the parks, we could wear them on Christmas Day or around the Christmas period at home, because that's the kind of family we are. And yeah, I just really liked that. And what I also liked about this one is you can take the bow off. So if you were a guy or a girl that didn't want to wear a bow on it, it gives you that option too, which I thought was really fun. And I like the fact that it's making them a little bit more inclusive for people. My sister also bought this Christmas set from Epcot, which were the International Festival of the Holidays collection. And this pattern on here was, oh God, it's so soft. That was the style of the Christmas jumper that Figment wears on Journey to Imagination, which if you watch our vlogs, you'll know we rode that about 50 million times because my son was obsessed with it. And a really lovely soft bow on the front. Like, these feel really nice quality and quite a cute colour as well. They'll go with most things. Not too Christmas specific either, actually. You could wear these any time of year. And the other kind of ears that we purchased were, if you see my cruise haul, you'll see that my daughter bought some of these create your own headband characters to go on the create your own headband. Well, we didn't have a headband, they were sold out on the cruise, so that was one of the first things that I purchased for her when we were on this trip, is the headband that they all clip onto. So obviously, whilst we were there, we had this headband. It was in every single shop. She was tempted to purchase some more. So she purchased ham from the outlet. That was only about $2.99. There was also some of the Hatbox Ghosts from Haunted Mansion, but as I said before, we're not a Halloween family, so that wasn't our kind of vibe, but they were really good value as well. So it's always worth checking out the Character Warehouse if that's something you're interested in. Now, I picked up these two. My son doesn't really wear ears, but I picked up these two. There was Lightning McQueen, Mater, and then there was like a cozy cone, traffic cone that went in the middle. That didn't come home with us, but these two did, because he will probably enjoy playing with these as plushes, because that's how he likes to play. But also you can attach these to the strap of kind of a Loungefly or a backpack. So if he didn't want to wear ears, he could still have characters on there that he enjoyed. And he loved going to Radiator Springs at the Art Animation Resort. If you haven't seen that in the vlogs, please go back and check them out, because it was like the highlight of his trip. So for me, that was quite sentimental for us to come home with these two toys, and he will just play with them as toys. And then again, because it was Christmas, my sister couldn't resist buying some of the Christmas versions on here, which I'd imagine these are probably in the outlets right now. It was a lovely snowman, and then we had a gingerbread Mickey, and they would look really cute on a headband. You can put them on any headband, you don't have to have the Disney specific one, but I suppose it has to be a certain thickness so they don't slide around all over the place while you're on rides. And last but not least, before we travelled, we decided that we were going to do some pin trading whilst we were there. And instead of buying a pricey pin that maybe we wouldn't want to actually part with, we had a money saving tip to go onto Vinted, buy some second-hand authentic Disney pins. So that's really important to check the back of the pins for the authentication mark. So we bought what we class as ugly pins that we were happy to take with us and trade in the parks, and that worked so well. We got some really great pins that we traded for, and my daughter, it built her confidence talking to cast members when doing the trade-in, but she just loved the excitement of spotting a pin trade-in board, going and having a little look, and it became a really fun activity that she carried throughout the whole holiday. But obviously you are also tempted by the pins that are for general sale in the stores, like the on-shelf pins, and we did come home with quite a few special ones that mean stuff to us. So what I'm going to do is film a close-up of just some of the pins that we got, tell you all about them rather than trying to show them up against the screen, because it never works and all you can see is my face and the pin blurred in the background. So I hope you enjoy checking out our pins. So our pin haul was a huge mix. My sister's collection full of Star Wars and Marvel, plus this really cool Tron pin, which was rubies. We traded for some Pixar pins and ended up with loads of Zootopia mystery pins too. We even built a whole board just for near enough ride pins, and mine definitely leaned heavily into the rides and Toy Story as well. Reese loved magnets and Pixar, so a few of those had to come home with us from the gift shop, and Rue picked up some Disney Park straw toppers. So that is everything. Well, not everything, that's just a snippet of the merch that we bought when we were at Walt Disney World. I hope you've enjoyed our haul. I hope you've enjoyed having a little peek at the things that we have brought back with us, that you might have picked up some tips along the way. If you want any other Disney tips, please follow me on my Instagram channel, which is at neversayneverland_adventures. So I share tips and hacks and our experiences of our family trip to Disney, Disney cruises, just everything Disney. We just love it. Disney, Disney, Disney. But thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, I appreciate you. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you are interested in updates for our Walt Disney World vlog. Please check out my website, neversayneverland.com. I also provide resources for neurodiverse families like my own. So if that is you, please do head over to one of my channels to check out my resources, and I will see you all soon. Bye.